Okay, so today I received this beautiful Saito FA-125 engine from a subscriber that requested that I tear it down, clean the bearings, clean this engine up. He had also ordered bearings from Boca, had them sent to me. So let's take our initial inspection of this engine. Now, quite honestly, this engine looks pretty darn nice. I mean, sure, it's got a little carbon residue here, but I mean, overall, this engine looks like it's in fantastic shape. Like great compression. I think this is more just a routine maintenance request more than anything at all, because it feels like it's got really monster compression and it feels pretty smooth. But let's go ahead and begin taking a look at this engine. Okay, so the intake manifold gasket looks like it's kind of blown out here. Yeah, it's flattened out and damaged pretty badly there. So that definitely needs to be replaced. I've never really been a huge fan of this means of sealing these intake manifolds. I've heard too many stories about, because this intake manifold just has a little ridge here that kind of holds this little thin metal washer in place that's supposed to seal it, and I've heard so many stories about the 125 engine where it blows these gaskets out. So that's one of those things I don't particularly care for that part of the Saito design. So this gentleman also has a whole set of gaskets on the way to me also. Carb gaskets, engine gaskets. They have not arrived yet, so this will just be the initial teardown. Okay, yeah, so this engine's got a little bit of run time. You can see it's a nice caramel color in there. You could use a cleaning. Look at the connecting rod is pretty dark. We'll get that all cleaned up. Now, I haven't done any heating of this yet. I just want to kind of see if these pins are going to want to come out. And it looks like what's happening here is that my screwdriver is just turning here. And once I tighten my little grub screw here, that came out quite easily. Let's see how this one does. Spacers here, and that one just so happened to fall right over the rocker arm there. spacers on one side. Gotta remember those. Let's get the push rods out. Push rods look good, no damage. Sounds like it's got a good seal there. I mean, this engine, I'm sure that gasket's going to break, but that's fine. He's got a gasket set on order here. And I've got a ton of those anyway, so let's get the rest of this gasket off here. If not, it'll come off in the clean bath. Okay. Now, I did have to cut down a wrench, but it was not the right size wrench. I don't want to have to cut down yet another wrench, but it almost looks like I'm going to have to because I really need to get in here like this. So it looks like I need to cut off about 1/4 inch of this thing, unfortunately. I really hate to do that to one of my wrenches, but that's the only way to really get on that thing. So let me go and cut this wrench down. I just have to buy a new set of wrenches here, and I'll have a specialty set. Okay, here's my shaved down wrench. I tested the length of the cut on this screw. I've already broke that one free. And I cut it just enough just to get in there and break these things free and be able to get it out. Okay. Our head's off. The rubber feels pliable still. This timing case off. Now this is interesting. This is actually the first time I've ever done a disassembled a Saito 125, and I never knew they actually changed the shape of the gasket. I mean, obviously this timing case's cover is a lot different than what I've seen before too. I didn't know the gasket was such a drastically different shape, but it is. There still should be a little grub screw in there holding that together. This actually feels like it's got like Loctite or something on it. Rather tight to unscrew. Maybe it's because it's rather long. May have to actually go and heat this thing up. Yeah, it does have some kind of a thread locker on it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. First time I've ever seen that. I have a feeling I'm going to need to go and get some heat on this. It doesn't feel like it just wants to, pin just doesn't want to come right out. Okay, so I had to modify my jaws a bit more here. I had to thin them out just a hair so I could get on this drive washer and manage to pop that thing free. So the drive washer is off. This brass tapered collar is still in place. I'm going to have to take that out and heat it up to get it out. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this piston out of here and see what these valves look like in this piston. So this is really got quite a bit of suction, so I'm going to just kind of push in on a valve. Help me pull that out a little bit. Now look at this. Now it's weird because with this nice caramel color that you're seeing in here, I thought I would see a lot more residue on the top of this piston, but this piston looks freaking pristine still. I mean, aside from the caramel color on all of this stuff, I would have expected to see a little bit more carbon residue. I'm going to have to ask the owner if he has any idea how much fuel he's got through this, because that would be a good point to know if, say, he's got a gallon or two through this, that we still don't have any kind of darkness on the top of the piston, because I always wonder about how much fuel it actually takes before you start seeing. I mean, look at this. I mean, this piston pin is just pushing straight out too. There's those. I mean, this engine is really in pretty phenomenal shape. There's that other little. I know it had two of those wrist pin retainers. Oh yeah, the other one's still inside here. Alright, so this engine has been quite easy to disassemble. This connecting rod looks pretty dirty, but that'll clean up. Let's look inside at these valves. I mean, holy crap. These valves don't even look dirty at all. I don't even really know that there's a need to drop these valves at all. I mean, the owner wanted me to drop the valves, but I mean, I hate to do that kind of thing if it's really not necessary. And by looking at the inside of this, I mean, the intake valve looks brand new still. I mean, I really don't want to have to remove valves unless it's absolutely necessary. And on this engine, it just really doesn't seem like it's that necessary, but I don't know. Get this rubber stuff out just in case I do drop these valves and put it in LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner. I mean, honestly, they have good action, but maybe to satisfy the customer, I'll go ahead and drop them. That's not going to hold that valve up there. I may have to shove some more wads of paper towel up there. I should be able to get that out. There's a retainer right there. One at a time, and gently drop out. So let's look and see what our valve seats look like. Pretty clean. Not bad at all. I mean, this engine is really in pretty darn good shape. A little build up on the exhaust valve, but I'll clean that off. This intake valve is, like I said, look at this thing. It just looks brand new. Intake, or the exhaust valve is a little dark, but I mean, it's got a little carbon buildup on the stem here, but I can scrape that off. That's easy. So there you have it. Major parts of this Saito 125 are now disassembled. Still need to get this drive collet or this tapered collet off. Tap the crankshaft out and then get the bearings out. And then put all this stuff in the ultrasonic cleaner for cleaning. And this muffler looks really clean. Actually, I think the owner said he may have cleaned this muffler up before he sent it to me. So, anyway, that concludes the disassembly of my first Saito FA-125 engine.